Welcome to another reading lesson with Miss Meadows. I am so excited to be learning with you today. We are doing a reread of Monument City, the script today, the play. So feel free to get your My Books out right now because you will be needing those. But I'm going to start right in with our elements of drama, which is our anchor chart today. So this says elements of drama. Can you say elements of drama? Very good. A drama is a story that is written so it can be performed by actors for an audience. So, what are the different parts of a drama? First part is the setting, where and when the story takes place or the drama takes place. We know setting. Next is the dialogue. That's the words that the characters speak. So when you hear me reading the story, you will hear me saying words that the characters say. That is called the dialogue. The cast is the list of characters, so we will see the cast list at the beginning of the story. That is all the characters that are in the drama. And then the characters are the people, animals, or things in the drama. So the cast is usually who is playing the characters, and then the characters are the people in the story. So go ahead and open up your book to Monument City. It should look like this. I'm going to go back to our prepare to read. Our genre this is a drama, just like our elements of drama, and that is a story that is read and acted out. So we're going to look for settings where the story takes place. You might remember from yesterday where the setting was. Does anyone remember where the story takes place? Say it into your microphone so I can hear you. Yeah, this takes place at Washington, D.C. The family goes and they visit at Washington, D.C. And then we are looking for a narrator who says words that the characters do not say. So in the story, you remember there is a narrator who is sort of reading the things that the characters don't say or setting up the different scenes for you. Our purpose for reading is to make a good guess or a prediction about what will happen. So yesterday we kind of made that prediction, and it would be kind of cheating today a little bit if we made that prediction again today because we have already read this story once and we're doing a little reread of it. So today we're going to be looking for the characteristics of a drama, such as characters and setting. So we're going to be looking for those characters and looking for setting to help you. And we're going to be looking for the cast and the setting and the characters and the dialogue and pointing out all of those things. Our power words today are scene. Can you say scene? Very good. A scene is a part of a play. I'm just going to read the definitions for you because this is review from yesterday. Can you say monuments? Very good. Monuments are statues or buildings that help us remember a person or event. Sites. Can you say sites? Very good. Sites are interesting places people like to visit. Grouchy. Can you say grouchy? Very good. When you are grouchy, you are in a bad mood. Freedom. Can you say freedom? Very good. Freedom is being able to do what you want to do. And symbol. Can you say symbol? Very good. A symbol is something that is used to mean something else. Alrighty. So, because Miss Meadows, I think, did such a great job reading this story with the different characters and my different costumes and my different hairstyles and voices yesterday, I don't want to mess with perfection. So, what Miss Meadows is going to do is I'm going to insert my reading from yesterday into the story. Feel free to listen. Miss Meadows, real life, will be back after, but go ahead, give that a listen, and I will see you with your special job right after. Enjoy the story! We've got Dad, Mom, Jeff, Deb, Grandma, and the narrator. So, Miss Meadows is going to play a lot of different characters in this story, and to make it less confusing for you, I have a couple of surprises up my sleeve of some different, costumes and things, some different voices. But I will try to also, as we're reading, read the names of the characters because this is written as a script or a play where if you look over here, we have scene 1, good news. So our first scene, but then it'll say narrator. And that means that the narrator's going to speak. And then it will say mom here, and that means the mom is speaking. We'll say Jeff here, and that means Jeff is speaking. Say mom here, mom is speaking, and then Deb here, and Deb is speaking. So I'm going to read this to you. I hope you enjoy it. Go ahead, follow along. This is our first read through, so don't worry about reading along with me. Just follow along. You can point along in your book, and I hope you enjoy this story. So scene 1, good news. Narrator says, one morning, Mom and Dad had some good news. Mom says, we are going on a family trip to Washington, D.C. next week. Jeff says, does it have a water park, Mom? And Mom says, I don't know. I know it has a big river. And Deb says, the Potomac River. Turn the page. Jeff says, well, what can we do there for fun? Mom says, Washington, D.C. has lots of monuments. Some are very big. And Deb says, we will see all the sights. And Dad says, we will stay with Grandma. She lives near the city. And Deb says, perfect. We will be there for the 4th of July. Jeff says, but I want to go to a water park on the 4th of July. Turn your page. Scene 2, the White House. Narrator says, the family went to Washington, D.C. and met Grandma at the White House. Jeff says, what is so great about a house that is white? Dad says, just wait and see. And Deb says, I see Grandma. Jeff says, why are so many people here? And Grandma says, oh, honey, everyone wants to see the White House. It is the president's house. And Jeff says, the president lives here? Deb says, yes, the first family lives here. And Grandma says, the White House has 35 bathrooms and 132 rooms. And Deb says, if I lived here, I could have my own bathroom. And Jeff says, so could I. Scene 3, at the Capitol. So here's our monument, this big building. The narrator says, the family went to see the Capitol. Dad says, what do you think of the Capitol, kids? And Jeff says, oh, no, Dad, not another building. And Deb says, stop being so grouchy, Jeff. Turn your page. Deb says, this is where the laws are made. Jeff says, what is that up on the top? And Grandma says, that is the Statue of Freedom. And Dad says, it is a symbol. Oh, that's not Dad's voice. Dad says, it is a symbol of our country's freedom. So this statue up on top is the Statue of Freedom. It's a symbol of our country's freedom, which means it stands for our freedom, our ability to do whatever we want in our country. Jeff says, what's that tall thing way over there? And Mom says, it is named after our first president. And Jeff says, oh, George Washington. Dad says, very good. Tomorrow we will go to the very top. And Jeff says, we will? How many steps does it have? Dad says, 897. Whoa, that's a lot of steps. Whew! Going all the way up to that top of that building would make me tired. Scene 4, the Washington Monument. Deb says, the Washington Monument is the tallest monument in the city. Jeff says, it has 897 steps, but we don't walk up. We take an elevator. It takes 1 minute to get up to the top. And Grandma says, you kids know as much about this city as I do. Then Grandma says, the next monument we will see is over there. It honors the 16th president. Deb says, Abraham Lincoln. Scene 5, the Lincoln Monument. Grandma says, hi. If the statue inside could stand up, it would be 28 feet tall. And Deb says, Mom, do you have a penny? My teacher said the Lincoln Memorial is on the back of some pennies. And Jeff says, let me see that. Dad says, kids, walk down to step number 18 with me. And Jeff and Deb together say, 1, 2, 3. Dad says, take a good look when we get to step 18. And Deb says, why do you want to stand up there, Dad? Dad says, remember this step. I will tell you why when we get to the next monument. Jeff says, another one. Scene 6, Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. Grandma says, the monument to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is one of our newest monuments. Jeff says, he looks like he could walk right out of that rock. Grandma says, Dr. King gave a great speech that we still remember today. Mom says, it was the I Have a Dream speech. Jeff says, oh, my teacher read that to us. We made a picture about our dreams. And Deb says, in school, we honor Dr. King on his birthday. Dad says, do you remember which step we were on? Jeff says, 18. Dad says, yes, that is the step Dr. King was on when he gave his speech. Mom says, many people came to listen to him. Grandma says, I was one of those people. Scene 7, the 4th of July. The narrator says, Jeff's cousin and family are going to a water park for 4th of July. Jeff wants to go with them. Jeff says, I don't know what to do. Mom says, it is up to you, Jeff. Grandma says, you can't miss the 4th of July in Washington, D.C. It's our country's birthday. We are all invited to the party. Deb says, will there be marching bands? Grandma says, you bet. And when the stars come out, we will listen to music. And Deb says, and watch the fireworks. Jeff says, then I want to go. And then Jeff says, happy 4th of July. And scene. So I hope you enjoyed that reading from Miss Meadows. Now, I have such a fun task for you, and I think you're really going to like this. So in your My Book, you will see a page that is going to have a blank paper or a blank square like this on it. Our prompt or your challenge for today that I think you'll enjoy is pick a scene from Monument City. So go back in your story and pick any of the scenes. So you can pick when they were on the steps, you can pick when they saw the Lincoln Monument, or when they were talking about Martin Luther King, or the fireworks at the end. Pick any of those scenes, and I want you to rewrite it or create it, draw a picture of it, but put yourself into it. what would you be doing if you were a part of this family? Would you be like Jeff, who was hesitant to want to be there and not sure if he wanted to be at the monument? Or would you be more like Deb, who was really loving being there? What would you be doing if you were in this story? So go ahead in the box in your My Book. You should only have to turn a page. Raise your hand if you need some help. I want you to redraw the scene, but put yourself in it and think. Really think, would I like to be in Washington, D.C. at the monument? Would I be happy about that? Or would I be sad about that? Try and think how you feel about it, about what your feelings would be, and insert yourself, because Jeff wasn't super happy to be there, and that was okay. And he ended up changing his mind, but it was okay that he was unsure about it. But Deb loved it the whole time, so would you be excited to go, or would you not be excited to go? Draw the whole family, so put the whole family, recreate the scene if you're on the steps, if you're at the fireworks, if they're at home, recreate the scene. So I might, if it were me, I might choose to do the scene when they were at home. So I would draw them at home. I would draw the mom and the dad and Deb and Jeff, and then I would put myself in there too. And I would decide, would I be excited about going? So would my face look like, I'm so excited? Or would my face look like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go there. I would rather go to a water park. Think about how you would feel. And any answer is an okay answer. Think about it, and I want you to go ahead and draw a picture and pretend like you are in the story. Put yourself right in there. Have so much fun with this. If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand and ask your teacher for some help, because this is kind of a new job for us as classes to think like this. So if you need some help, raise your hand and ask your teacher. We'd be happy to help you. But otherwise, happy putting yourself into a story. I hope you enjoy it and have a lot of fun with it. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, friends.